For this tutorial, you will need Adobe After Effects and the Element 3D plugin. Yo, what is up guys? My name is AvioEdits and I'm bringing you a motion tracking tutorial in Adobe After Effects. So let's just get right into it. What you're going to do is import your cinematic, and I already have mine imported. So when it's in the project tab, just bring it down to this button right here to make a new composition. And one thing I like to do right off the bat to get rid of all this stuff over on the side and the spectating thing is pre-composing it. You can name it whatever you like, press OK. And then I like to bump the scale up to 118. The reason why I do that is because it gives me enough room to, when I slide it over, for all that extra text and stuff that I don't need to get off the screen. Now once that is done, you can actually, since this cinematic kind of sits here for a second because I messed up when I was recording it, I'll go over to the part where I want it to begin. Make sure I have the layer selected, click Control, Shift, and D at the same time, and then press B to snap this over. And then you can delete this layer right here, and go over to about where you want it to end, say right here, click on the layer again, Control, Shift, D, and then delete, and then N on the keypad to close the bracket. And then you can press J on your keypad, double tap, click on the layer again, Control Shift D to delete, or to split, and then delete that. You go back, press K, double tap, click on your layer again, and delete this. Now that both the compositions are trimmed to the same length, and you don't have any of that extra stuff that you don't need. So just go into the composition and right click on the layer and click Track Camera. This works best if your clip is 59.94 frames a second or anything higher than that, and if the track's not really shaky. As you can see, this one's really smooth. It kind of just a straight up pan back. And this will take a few minutes, so I will unpause the video when it is done. Okay, I'm back and it is solving the camera. This usually takes just a few seconds. So when this is done, it's going to give me a lot of track points in places that it, I guess, selects throughout the time that it's rendering or whatever. I don't really know how to explain them, but I will show you basically when I see them. Okay, here they are. These actually give you points of orientation, so you can actually see how the target point is positioned. Over here it's going to be flat, how the ground is and everything, but I kind of want my text to be sitting upright like this. So you find a point, right click, create text in camera, and then this will give you nice text right here. So just change it to whatever you want. I'm going to make it Advio, I'll make the size like 10, grab it, and I'll put it right here. Actually, I'll make the size a little bit bigger just by clicking Control A and 20. Sliding it over. Okay, once you have this, right click, new, create a solid. I like to name this one Element because that's the plugin that I'm going to be applying to it. So go over to the Effects and Presets tab and apply the Element plugin. Once that's all loaded up, go over to Custom Layers, Custom Text and Masks, and then go down to whatever your desired name was. Go to Scene Setup, go to Extrude, and that'll actually make your text or whatever you have in there 3D. I like to change the bevel scale up a little bit to make it thicker, and I know I have some plugins actually installed into here where I have more bevels, but I believe whenever you install this, these ones down here are the base ones that they come with, so you can just click it and drag it, and that'll basically apply that bevel. But personally, I like just plain the most, and that's all I'm gonna do for this. Click OK. Now that's just gonna be in a random position, and it's gonna look really weird. So what you want to do is go over to Group 1, Particle Replicator, and then go down to your text layer, press P to open up the position, go back to the Element tab, and then begin copying and pasting these into the Particle Replicator. Sorry. Once they're in there, the text, it's not going to be the exact same size, but it will be tracked perfectly to where that other point was. Now that you have this, you can hide the original layer, and then from here you can slide this over. Try not to change the z-axis right here, because this is floating in like an invisible coordinate plane, and the further back you move it, or the more close to you that you actually move it, it's going to look disoriented compared to the background itself. So go to particle look, and you can change the size down a little bit and bring it up. Always feel free to use the X and Y axis as much as you want. And basically, if I go back to the original one, and I ram preview this by pressing the 0 on the number pad, or you can go up here and click this button up here, it's actually really cool. So I'll show you guys that when it's done. Alright guys, it's almost done, and you can basically just see by this, sorry I'm going to turn off that sound, you can see by this how it actually looks. It's really clean, everything like that. But you can actually be really creative with this. A couple things that I personally do is I would right click, actually go into this composition, right click on the element layer, go to layer styles and add a drop shadow. And then you can play with these values right here, make it look nice, whatever, and oops, sorry, make that 10. Just give it a little bit of a depth perception, I guess. And one other thing I do is go down in the element tab right here, go down to render settings, ambient occlusion, enable ambient occlusion, and then bump the intensity up a little bit. And I don't know how well you can see it with the screen recorder, but it does add some shadows in and out of here. I could actually show you the difference if I turn it off. You can see how it gets a little bit lighter, and based off of the environment, it'll just add some things in there. So that is basically it. You can always basically do anything your mind comes to when it comes to this stuff. I'll be doing more tutorials in the future on stuff a little bit more in depth with motion tracking. This one was just a real basic tutorial. If there's anything else that I could do for you guys, just please leave it down in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can with any questions or anything like that. So this was AvioEdits, and I will see you guys later.